of snow chances this week. This one moving in later on tonight, and then another chance on Friday. All of these details, what you can expect coming up.
The dangers of thin ice, they linger across the region.
I've never seen it like this, and it's I'm intrigued to see how much of it is actually frozen, because even just looking out, it's like the reflection. But
the urgent warnings as we continue into days of freeze and thaw. The obstacles people in the district are having to scale to catch the bus.
This is very dangerous for people that's trying to get on the bus.
What WMATA is doing to clear the stops. Potential for tax filing chaos as city leaders warn Congress is looking to block some local tax codes. Plus the countdown to Super Bowl 60, how fans are preparing for the big game.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for DC News Now at 9. I'm Susan Trent, and Chris Flanagan has a night off. Snow, my goodness, not again. The flakes falling yet again across the region tonight. DC News Now has team coverage for you all across the DMV. Yamri Sase looking at the icy waterways. Ben Dennis with the latest storms, lingering impacts on commuters. But we're going to get started with our chief meteorologist, Jackie Lair, with a look at this timing, Jackie.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at right now much of that light snow still just west of our area trying to push in right now, but it's more of an overnight light snow storm as that pushes its way in and as temperatures will be dropping. So as we zoom on in on the map, not much of that accumulation or not much of that snowfall reaching the surface as of this point. If anything, mainly back out towards western Maryland right now, seeing some of that light snow. Aside from that, we should start to notice a bit more of that light snow popping in as we look ahead towards closer to midnight tonight. Temperatures out there right now, mid-30s in DC, right around the freezing mark in Hagerstown, Woodstock, Luray as well. It's above the freezing mark down towards Fredericksburg. So as we look over the course of the next few hours, right around midnight, like I said, we're talking about some of those scattered light snow showers. So I don't want to confuse anyone, confusing this system with our last winter storm. This one really just light accumulation potential, mainly along and south of 66. That's really where much of the action will be. So overall, for the overnight into tomorrow morning, any of that light snow could make for some slick travel. So just keep that in mind as you're stepping out tomorrow morning, along with any of that refreeze from what we had, any of that melting that we had earlier in the day today. But this quickly moves out, and then we're looking at a gradual clearing of those skies into tomorrow afternoon as high temperatures will hover right around the freezing mark again. So as we look towards tomorrow, that planner, mainly cloudy skies in the morning. I think by 6 a.m. much of the precipitation is out of here. Looking at some partly cloudy skies in through the early afternoon hours. Now Thursday looking pretty quiet as well, but Friday have a chance for some snow. I'll have more details on that coming up.
All right, Jackie, easing our anxiety there. Thank you. First responders in the district rushing to rescue a person from the icy Potomac, but firefighters say the person has died. Investigators telling us that crews were called over to the 14th Street Bridge for a person on the ice. And when they arrived, they say it turned from a rescue to a recovery mission. Crews then helped to remove the victim's body from on top of the ice. DC police have not said how the person died, but they're continuing to warn everyone to stay off the semi-frozen Potomac. Now, despite those warnings, there are still people walking along the river, and first responders say this is so extremely dangerous. The Arctic air turning ponds and pools into ice rinks, but for the Potomac right here that you're looking at, the moving current, the freeze, officials say, that is often uneven. That means there are so many weak spots that just cannot support your body weight. DC News Now's Yamri Sase joining us live there at the Georgetown waterfront. And Yamri, looks are so deceiving out there.
Yeah, that's right. The Potomac River is iced over, and honestly, during this time, from this distance, you can really see that it's pretty solid and frozen. It looks like you could stand on it, but fire officials say that looks are deceiving. You can see some warning tape saying do not cross. They're urging people not to step on the river.
It's beautiful to look at.
For many, seeing the Potomac River frozen over like this is a rare and beautiful sight. But that curiosity is also tempting some to get a little too close.
I've never seen it like this, and it's I'm intrigued to see how much of it is actually frozen.
I thought I'd jump in, but nah, I'm not gonna jump.
And for others, it goes beyond just looking. There are several viral videos circling online that show people walking and running on the ice.
I don't know how to swim, so I feel like if something were to happen, like, it's kind of scary. But I also think it's like funny but kind of dangerous.
No ice is safe ice.
Vito Majolo with DC Fire and EMS is warning people not to take that risk.
It may look strong at some point, and you may suddenly find yourself in a point where it's weak and fall through.
Majolo says if someone falls through the ice, the cold water can quickly lead to hypothermia. The body can become weak and lethargic, and making it hard to climb out. And within 15 to 20 minutes, it could be deadly. If you do fall through the ice, officials say don't panic. Try to balance your weight, pull yourself out if possible, and roll or lay flat as you move towards shore. And most importantly, call for help.
If you're a bystander and you see somebody go through the ice, it's very important. The first thing you do is call 911. If you have a rope or something you can throw out to the person, or even a long branch, but don't try to go in and make a rescue yourself.
Now, officials do say that it is illegal to swim in the Potomac River and also going on the ice during these times as well. Now, they are encouraging anyone that sees anyone that may have fallen into the water or walking on the ice to contact 911 immediately. It is better to stay safe and save a life. For now, reporting in Northwest, I'm Yamari Sase, DC News Now.
Such great advice there, Yamari. Thank you. The district snow team preparing for potentially slick and dangerous conditions. They say the crews have been out there treating the bridges and main roads and neighborhood streets, but they've been doing this work for 2 Saturdays now. You can even see the National Guard members out there. They're deployed in the district, and they're also helping with the cleanup efforts. We're now 9 days post-storm, and there are portions of the district that remain treacherous to travel, including at area bus stops where commuters are playing a hazardous game of leapfrog to try and catch their ride. DC News Now's Ben Dennis joining us live. And Ben, what is WMATA saying about the growing complaints?
Well, Metro tells me it's not their responsibility to clear snow and, in this case, ice from property that they don't own, sidewalks included. And according to the district's current snow removal plan, it's side streets where there are bus stops like this one where there's plenty of snow, and that's largely not going to be cleared, at least for the time being, as it appears. Other spots, much, much worse. A treacherous trek over certain curbs to commuter buses. Metro bus riders having to walk over ice chunks.
Oh my God, especially with the baby.
They could slip and fall and hit their head, especially if it's an elderly lady.
Next to the Petworth Library along Georgia Avenue, the distance between the bus stop and the road blanketed in a mound of ice.
Oh my goodness.
A helping hand needed for some to get on the bus.
I got you. I got you. The year before, they cleaning everything. I don't know what happened with this year.
You still got people in wheelchairs that have to wait for the bus in the street.
More than a week after the storm, WMATA says we have cleared 100% of all active bus stops at Metro-owned locations and assisted our partners in cleaning around 360 bus stops in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. But not all bus stops have been addressed, including in Congress Heights in Ward 8. WMATA added there are approximately 7,600 bus stops in the region, and most of those stops and sidewalks are the responsibility of local jurisdictions. On Monday, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser said side streets where many bus stops are won't get snow removal treatment.
If you're asking if we can haul snow off of side streets, that's not our current plan.
Not acceptable for Naomi Hawk. What do you think about all that?
How the hell are we supposed to do that? And we pay taxes.
And Metro tells me that they are, quote, providing as much assistance as possible where bus stops have not been cleared, and they encourage customers to reach out via social media, phone, and live chat if they find issues on their commute. I asked Metro, what does their response in action in the field look like once somebody complains? I'm still waiting to hear back. In Northwest D.C., Ben Dennis, back to you.
All right, pretty dangerous out there for so many commuters, Ben, thank you. Now to another weather warning across the DMV, as you see that we have been warming up and then freezing up again overnight. First responders say there are these falling roof lanches, and that's when the melting sheets of ice just slide right down, crashing onto the ground. A woman in Northern Virginia says that she was walking out of a grocery store in Woodbridge when dangerous chunks nearly smashed right on top of her. She's now alerting everyone to look up.
I heard this whoosh come down right behind me, and I turned around and there was a huge pile of ice and snow. like I just get choked up thinking about it because it was so close.
Wow. All right, first responders reminding everyone that the falling ice, along with the very slick sidewalks, they all continue to be very hazardous across the region. And new tonight, a disturbing animal abuse investigation in the district. Police say a small dog was found inside of a trash chute at an apartment complex. Now, rescuers say that the Yorkie Terrier here, named Apple, is a senior dog who was discovered last week, essentially just thrown out. Animal Rescue saying that she was malnourished, neglected, and had multiple old injuries. While they're nursing Apple back to health, police are looking for the person who abused her. A firefighter in the district hurt fighting the flames at this house fire earlier this morning has since been rushed to the hospital. Officials saying that a cat was also rescued from that home on Kansas Avenue there in Northwest. You can see a firefighter there with the meowing cat who's going to be okay. One person out of the home while investigators look into a cause. The district is faced with losing millions of tax dollars, all due to a power struggle with Congress. City leaders say that federal lawmakers want to block a portion of D.C.'s local tax code. DC News Now's Marielle Carbone has the details on what some are calling the latest attack on home rule.
Some say this is about power, not policy. Now, if this moves forward, it could cost the district's budget hundreds of millions of dollars over the next several years.
It's unnecessary and chaotic.
That's the response from D.C. Council member Zachary Parker as Congress looks to upend D.C.'s local tax code.
It's a common sense action by our local government.
Last year, D.C. Council voted to decouple itself from parts of the big, beautiful bill, essentially opting out of some of the Trump administration's federal tax cuts. It's a step states can and do take. Erica Williams with the D.C. Fiscal Policy Institute explains.
The law that we passed did not change or block or diminish federal tax cuts. We simply chose not to duplicate them locally.
But House Republicans are looking to block that decision.
The D.C. Council has cherry-picked pieces of these federal tax reforms and decided to just ignore the application in the local tax code. This hurts seniors and hardworking American families.
Officials estimate the money generated by opting out of the tax cuts is about $600 million over the next several years. That money is already slated to fund budget items like D.C.'s child tax credit.
If Congress goes forward with this disapproval resolution, they would abolish our local child tax credit.
The timing, also a major concern.
The biggest thing or agent of chaos would be the fact that tax season, which began on January 26th, would essentially have to be delayed. So residents would have to submit their federal tax returns by April 15th. But on the local side, I can't tell you when that's going to be due because we would be forced to then rewrite our tax code in the middle of tax season.
And other states have decoupled this same way. Now the House will vote on Wednesday, and then this moves on to the Senate. Reporting from the Wilson Building, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
For more political analysis and discussion, be sure to tune in to Sunrise on the Hill with hosts Hillary Howard and Corey Smith every weekday morning from 6 until 9 right here on DC News Now.